This is something that is very special. And the question is, what is your wish list for Santa? Good morning. This is Jose Montoya, CoffeeBreak Logistics and Supply Chain. My wish list doesn't have to be anything related with CoffeeBreak and logistics and supply chain. It's just, oh God, today we are about to go live and the platform is not working with us. We are using a StreamYard, everything disappears, all the files, all the graphics, and definitely technology. When you rely on technology, anything can happen, right? Just a short while ago, I mean, we were struggling with the Wi-Fi signal. System was down. Then when we are able to access the platform, now everything appears. I don't know. You gotta be somewhere, but all the files are gone. That's one thing, right? LinkedIn, by the way, is giving us also some issues. So we go live and we go live in different platforms. It seems to be that the one that we can rely on is YouTube. I don't know what's going on lately with LinkedIn, but we are having issues every single week. But it is what it is. When these companies control everything and the customer service is very poor, then there's nothing that you can do, unfortunately. Just rely on when someone is going to be having some time to reply back to you with the concerns that you have. But anyway, the subject for today is what is your wish list for Santa in logistics and supply chain? The holiday season is here, right? So on our personal life, we have a wish list for this season. Then definitely we are going to have it also for logistics and supply chain industry. And we're going to review several items where we believe, based on our conversations and different conversations with people in the industry, friends in the industry, colleagues, and this is what Santa may deliver for this holiday season. Now, it's sad, but it's true that all of us in the industry, we bank on increasing resiliency. And why is that? Is because it's going to give us the tools in order to be able to react to whatever situation is going to be at hand. The lessons that we learn from disruption, basically, Santa hopefully is going to be delivering to us more tools to enhance the visibility. At the same time, I mean, those tools that is going to help us to predict the future. When I said predict the future, I'm referring more in terms of how we are going to be able to predict something that is coming to us, right? Disruption is, in my opinion, I mean, is something that is going to be a constant. We have experienced changes, good and bad changes, and we can stop that. I mean, definitely is something that in this industry and many other industries, I mean, we have to face all the time. Change is always coming, is here, and is going to be forever, right? That we are going to be exposed to multiple different changes, and we can control those because, let's say, political changes. those are taking place because there's nothing that we can do. We are not in the political arena, therefore our businesses are affected by a political disruption. Let's put it like that, because that's what it is: political disruption. Now, when we are, when we are hoping that Santa is going to give us more tools to predict analytics, then definitely we are going to be not ahead of the game probably, but at least we know what do we have to do in terms of what are the options that we have at hand every single time that disruption is coming. At least we are going to be able to predict somehow, some way, what it may be taking place. Like, when we are talking about, predicting the future, let's say for companies that they are in different spaces, let's say in the retail space, and they would like to predict, what it would be the inventory that they need to have in multiple different locations or here in the United States at any given point, is because that is with the tools that we have today and new tools, then definitely we're going to be able to predict that. And those companies, somehow, some way, they're going to be ahead of the game. Now, the other part that hopefully Santa is going to be delivering to us is tech integrations. Santa I would say that the Santa is going to be bringing AI. Of course, we have seen AI already in the marketplace in multiple different ways, right? But definitely we need more of that. And what we are hoping is that the tech integrations are going to be easier. In my opinion, in today's DNA, it shouldn't be any reason why we are making things more complicated than it should. Now, is my personal opinion. I see that in the way that we have good progress in multiple different fields, then it shouldn't be a reason why we cannot have a better way to do these integrations faster, more accurate, and from the use case standpoint, it should be easier, rather easier, right? So that's what I'm hoping for, that Santa is going to bring us more AI, and those integrations are going to be easier than it's been so far. Santa is always thinking about sustainable solutions. Everything related with the carbon reduction strategies, greener packaging, and optimizing those routes is probably the main topic that we are going to have in that arena. Now, I have expressed my opinion about sustainable solutions multiple different times. It's a good topic that many companies they have. They write about that. They promote that, and it's interesting that we are going to be able to see the results of all these actions that they have taken in order to be a sustainable solution. Now, when we are talking about carbon reduction strategies, there's multiple different ways to embrace that. Now, for the 3PL, when we are talking about order fulfillment, yeah, greener packaging is something that is very popular. Let's put it like that. Everyone is talking about that. Are they doing it? Is the question. Because I don't see, honestly, when let's say you place an order, what I would say, let's pick Amazon, right? Many times, you order this, and then you have a box like 10 times the size of that item that you requested. So right there, I don't think that that's very sustainable, because not only they have to use more bubble wrap, by the way, and that's plastic, and a box that is 10 times bigger than the item that you order. So I don't think that doing it in that fashion, I mean, we're going to help in the planet. We are going to create, and definitely it would be more waste for sure. Now, the other factor that when we are talking about sustainable solutions is that optimizing the routes. Now, and let's pick, it seems to be that I'm picking on Amazon, but I mean, unfortunately, those are very good examples. When we place an order and basically we as a consumers, we said, oh, you know what, I mean, I need this delivery within the same day or next day. You're going to see multiple, in the area where I live, you see in the same block arriving not one, not two, in many cases, three different small vans from Amazon. So, of course, that they are fulfilling the promise that they have with you, which is good, because as a customer, I mean, if you request something that is going to be delivered within the same day, I mean, that's the expectation. Therefore, I mean, if you pay for that, then you should be getting the service. Now, moving to the sustainable solutions, then that is a kind of, I mean, we are not being sustainable when we have to have three different vehicles in the same block. One single vehicle, it can have full pack of the goods that are going to be delivered in that area. Therefore, I mean, you're going to be able to deliver to those places using only one vehicle. So the optimization of the routes, I don't think that that's taking place in those cases. And when you see more than one truck moving in the same area, that means that unless that they are completely full, that they have to use a bigger equipment. But that it would be the right way to do it. Instead of having two, I mean, you are going to have a bigger equipment fulfilling that specific area. Anyway, I'm not trying to be quite critic about that, but in that wish list, I'm hoping that Santa is going to bring more solutions to that aspect when we are talking about sustainable solutions. Now, thinking about labor solutions. Santa definitely, I don't think that he's doing it per se, but in the industry, in logistics and supply chain, I mean, definitely the automation is something that we are wishing for. Automation, more automation. Yes, today we have automation in multiple different areas, but yes, we do need more of it. And because the labor is not available, unfortunately, right? We are talking about that in the industry, and especially for logistics and supply chain, that's what we are targeting. The labor demand, I mean, is always on the high side. I mean, there is like 1 million jobs to be fulfilled that the talent, number one, is not there. Number two, based on the season, and especially in this time for, let's say, the 3PLs and the transportation companies, they don't have all the manpower that is needed, unfortunately. Why? Because every single company is in a high demand. So when we are talking about the 3PL services, it's always a struggle in order to get the people with the right talent in specific positions. This is the peak season. This is the holiday season where, let's say, the expectation is on the high end. Therefore, that's how, unfortunately, the industry behaves, right? Not easy sometimes, I mean, in order to find the right talent, but warehouses across the country, I mean, they struggle in order to get the right talent. So I'm hoping that Santa is going to bring us more automation. More automation is going to simplify those repetitive task that you have to do in any given fulfillment center. Let's say if we are when we are talking about the warehouse, right? Now, moving to the e-commerce optimization, um, Santa is thinking very seriously about that because e-commerce has going up and is going to continue going up. And why is that? Is because it seems to be that the customer behavior is what is directing that. Therefore, yes, we see that the increase in that aspect. I mean, it's going to be always trending up. Now we are talking about, I mean, the e-commerce. With the e-commerce optimization, something that is going to be affecting is the last mile, right? The last mile is going to be affected in multiple different ways, and it's something that is being developed and is being improved and optimized over time. It still is in the perfect state. I'm not sure that that's the case. For example, I mean, today something that caught my attention is something very curious. XPO, FedEx, UPS, they weren't doing very well in the stock market. I mean, the shares price went down drastically for all these three right away. And supposedly, I mean, this is the peak season where they are having a lot of businesses, and it's supposed to be the other way around. But somehow, some way, the prices on the shares for these companies, I mean, they are coming down. At least in the earlier part of the day. So very curious. I mean, it's something that you were expecting something different, but maybe something related with the last mile delivery. Yes, FedEx, in terms of history, FedEx, UPS, this is the time of the year when they increase the pricing. This is the time of the year when they are very congested. This is the time of the year where unfortunately, the big amount of volume that is going through those networks is huge. Everyone is buying the gift for Christmas, and of course, because the e-commerce boom, then basically many people are using those online stores, and that's basically where you see the congestion, right? Now, the e-commerce optimization, I mean, brings an opportunity for the 3PLs because something that is needed, I mean, for the big brands and big guys, right, is the micro fulfillment, meaning instead of those huge distribution centers that unfortunately they are far away from the metro areas, then what the market probably is going to be needing, not only for the last 2 or 3 years, but moving forward, is those warehouses and distribution centers smaller than 500 and a million square feet. So they are going to be needing smaller spaces close to the metro areas. In that way, the fulfillment of specific orders, especially for those that they have to be delivered within the same day or the next day, it would be easier, faster, and they can fulfill the promise of to the customers, right? So micro fulfillment, I mean, definitely something that is going to be in play, and Santa, I'm assuming that is pushing for that as well, and in that way, he's going to be relieved from the pressure in order to deliver everything by himself. Another thing that Santa probably is thinking about it. I mean, is originally is coming from him, right? Now, the industry has adopted his principle, and then now in many areas we have found that we can have drone deliveries. So, in a small package delivered by a drone, of course. Here in the United States, I mean, it's more difficult because the airspace and the controls and so on and so forth. And in some other countries, they have tested already where they have used drones for specific deliveries in specific areas, and everything is working well. It shouldn't be any reason why it's not. Now, of course, that opens the door for multiple different things, good and bad. So that's what the industry is trying to figure out. I mean, what is the best approach? Um, no question about it. I mean, the drone delivery is something that is very, I don't know. I think that is completely doable. Is making sense because, um, like for example, I mean, when you see the automated vehicles delivering things in specific areas, right? Here I seen you have a small car, and I mean, basically you are going to be seen in the app when they arrive. Then you go out, you key the password that you need to open the vehicle. You open the vehicle and you take your package and then close it back, and that is going to go to a different destination or back to whatever is the center that they have for those vehicles. So it's the same principle. I'm assuming that from a closed distribution center or for a specific vehicle, someone is going to be putting the drones up and delivering small packages in specific areas where they have the permits and whatever the case is, right? So very interesting. We are going to be seeing that happening. I don't know if that's related to the New Jersey uh, stories that we hear in terms of the drones that they are showing up in big quantities in specific areas in New Jersey. But I mean, I'm not surprised that that's something related to it or not. I always, and here in CoffeeBreak Logistics and Supply Chain, we always talk about collaboration. And collaboration, I think that is the key. Without collaboration, I mean, there is no way that we are going to be able to achieve anything, not only for logistics and supply chain, but in any given industry, technically. Collaboration is probably the backbone of everything that you do. There's no company that can do everything themselves, number one. Number two, you are not the only person that knows about the industry. Therefore, when you collaborate with others, then you're going to find that not only you're going to be able to use somebody else's resources that they have available for someone like you in need. Number two, the learning, the experience, the all related with any specific areas, you're going to be able to tap into that specific knowledge if you collaborate with others, right? Um, I can speak about, I mean, where it's going to be freight forwarding, where it's going to be 3PL services. Today, we see that more than before. In the past, I'm talking about, I mean, several years back, you see that as a company, I mean, you are like in a fortress, right, where no one is allowed to get in and discuss processes and challenges and stuff like that, or even working with the same customer in multiple different projects. Now that's very normal. You find companies. I don't have to. I'll give you an example. I don't have to buy a fleet of vehicles because I need to service a customer. What I can do is just partner with someone that I know from the industry, someone that they have what I need, and then we are going to partner in order to provide the service that the customer is needing, right? So they already have the vehicles. We have the customer that has any specific need for those vehicles. They're basically when you partner, then basically you're going to be able to, number one, which is probably the most important part, is to fulfill the customer need, and number two is that if it's a real business, then why not? You're going to be able to share that specific part. You don't have to own everything to provide services today. So I'm hoping that Santa And I know Santa believes that bringing tools and people together, I mean, is the way to foster not only better services that we can offer to our clients, but also improve in terms of the communication between shippers and carriers and logistic providers. So I know that collaboration is the top of one of the things that I always, when we are talking about, I mean, the logistics and supply chain businesses, that's on the top of my list, because no collaboration, no progress. You may get to the point that you want to be if you do it yourself, but it's going to be very slow, and probably you're going to miss the target, because it's going to be taking quite some time just to get there. Now, when you collaborate and when you partner with the right people, by the way, then you're going to get ahead of the game, no question about it. Santa knows this very important, right? The data-driven insights is something that is on our conversations all the time. Data is king today, right? And why is that? Is because we make decisions based on that data. I mean, we are talking about, I mean, predicting inventory levels, forecasting manufacturing of the product that you need. So those good estimations are going to be able to be achieved when you use data. So the data insight is something that I don't think that is going to be replaced by anything, because data is telling you what is the history, right? So we know, for example, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, we know that warehouses are at full capacity by this time of the year. Yeah, data is telling you that. So there's no surprise whatsoever when you see those distribution centers that they said, you know what, I mean, we don't have the space. It's just because this is the time of the year that when that happened. So data is, as I said, I mean, data is king. Data-driven insights and decisions made based on that are probably the trend that we need to follow, because if you don't take a look of the history, then you would be not able to predict the future. I'm not saying that past behavior determines future behavior, but in many cases it does, right? So there's some changes that can be done as well. I mean, it's not because you can see it in this way, right? You have a bad experience with a service provider. That means that that service provider is going to give you that type of service all the time. No, that's not the case. But if you make some adjustments, then you're going to have a different experience. Now, talking about not good experiences with from the customer side, Santa, and I know Santa is on the people business, right? Santa knows that it's a top priority to have the customer in your mind at the top of the list. Customer centric is absolutely required in today's business. Why? Because if you don't think and you don't have your customer as the main point for all the design that you do in terms of providing the service, I don't know, acquiring different systems and stuff like that, if you don't have the customer in mind that is going to be affected on the positive way for that, then you're going to miss a lot. Because everything that we do as a service providers is thinking about how the experience is going to be improved for our clients. If I do, let's say, for example, that I'm going to be acquiring a new CRM, for example, and the CRM, it won't impact positively my customers, then I think that that's not probably the right investment that I should be doing, right? I have a solution that is working, and let's say that is working semi well, and I'm going to improve and I'm going to make an investment in a better system. But if I cannot determine and measure that the customer is going to be effective in a positive way, then that investment has to be reviewed, because the whole entire goal, it would be to impact the customer experience. So customer centric is something that Santa and in the industry knows that we need to work more on that every single time. It's always an opportunity. Nothing is perfect, and every single time, I mean, we have opportunities to improve the customer experience. I know this because I have direct communication with Santa, and something that Santa and all of us we are wishing to have is a global trade simplification. The global trade, I mean, I would say that in the past was easier in terms of the complexity, regulations, and so on and so forth. Um, the base of the economy is when you can exchange products and services for some other product and services or cash. Uh, Now, over time, I mean, when you are expanding and the time goes by, then you see that the global trade, I mean, is not easy because number one, the players that are in the market and multiple different services that you need today that they weren't in need for in the previous time, or the political complexity in many different countries, uh, strikes, climate, war, all this complexity that brings the global trade to a specific point is not easy. It's not impossible. It is more difficult than probably before in many different ways. So I'm hoping that I agree with Santa, hoping that the global trade simplification is going to be for the years to come. Um, in this particular time, I mean, and this is probably serving as a closing points for me in this short conversation about what is your wish list for Santa. We as a consumers and clients, we as a consumer and clients, right? We need to be mm, in this season, and I would say the whole entire year, but in this particular season, I mean, we should be appreciating uh, everyone that is working in the industry, in logistics and supply chain. Those people, I mean, are probably the ones that are working twice as much in this particular time of the year, where for some people, I mean, this is the time where they take vacation, where they are going to be with their families, planning all these family reunions and dinners and so on and so forth. For the people in these particular industries where they need to work hard. Why? Because, as I mentioned before, all the warehouses are full, completely packed of goods, waiting for the orders that are going to be received for those customers that they handle, and then be able to ship everything on time for the holiday season. So many warehouses are going to be working not only one shift, but two or maybe three. I mean, they're going to be around the clock because they need to fulfill all the orders that are needed for this particular season. So we need to appreciate not only baby Jesus in this season, but also join Santa that remind us to appreciate everything that is done for those people that you don't see all the time. But those people are working hard in order to be able to that you get everything that you need for this holiday season. So let's make sure that the magic of Christmas reach out to everyone. Uh, and when I said everyone, means everyone around the globe, because not only here in the United States is where we experience this rush about Christmas, but also in every single country is exactly the same thing. In this industry, in logistics and supply chain, definitely in every single side of the world, there's someone that is going to be working overtime just to make you smile when you receive the gift that someone is going to be sending for you, or I don't know, something in those lines. And here from CoffeeBreak and Logistics and Supply Chain, I mean, we are very pleased that this year has been uh, absolutely great. I mean, interacting with multiple different friends and colleagues in the industry. We have learned a lot, and we are continuing learning from the industry because this is very dynamic. So I wish that everyone is going to have a happy holiday, and more importantly, is that everyone is going to be safe. And we are going to be here uh, right after the holidays as well. We are going to keep talking about the most important topics in the industry. We are going to be just be joined by leaders in the industry as well, new companies, and colleagues that are doing something great and affecting the industry in a positive way. So until I'm going to see you again, which is the next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, then please enjoy the holidays, have fun, be safe, and thank everyone in the industry for everything that they do. Until I see you, ciao, ciao.